Hi, this is Shakti here, and today I am going to be talking to you about the Redmi 2. Why am I doing a video post instead of a normal blog post? I thought that this is a phone that deserves a lot of things to be singled out and mentioned. Not just a standard blog post that talks about benchmarks, dimensions, and the other blah blah blah, which I normally do for all other phones. Because I firmly believe that this is one phone that is going to change the entry level budget segment first Android phone market in a very big way in India. Why do I believe that? Let's talk about it now. Okay, so the Redmi 2 was recently launched by Xiaomi as a successor to the Redmi 1S. Let's just take a look at the phone. Okay, what have they done different with this? They've taken the Redmi 1S and made it thin, really thin. Okay, and the display is amazing. It's laminated. It's dragon tail. It's everything you wanted in the Redmi 1S display that has been rolled into the Redmi 2. Now take a look at the back. Now this has been inspired by the Redmi Note series, and it is a matte finish. That means it doesn't feel slippery. It also means that it's not plasticky, right? It feels premium enough and it doesn't slip from your hands. You can hold it. You can hold it pretty comfortably. Fine. So now what have they done to differentiate it from the Redmi 1S is they have made it thinner and lighter than the Redmi 1S. But then they have retained the screen size at the same 4.7 inches, right? So what has happened is the sides are thinner, the curves are much better, and the bezel is very small. So what happens is, although the screen size is the same, it feels like you have a lot more premium real estate on the screen when you look at the phone, right? And this phone comes with MIUI 6. Now, MIUI 6 is the latest version of Xiaomi's own ROM, which is built on top of Android. We have not yet moved to Lollipop in the Xiaomi world yet. I'm assuming that it's coming soon, but then this is the latest and greatest that's available, and they've loaded it on the phone. This makes the phone really butter smooth when you try to use it, right? This makes the phone really butter smooth, and everything looks absolutely premium, even the animation and stuff. But then that's something we have spoken about a lot when we spoke about the Mi 4, so I will not elaborate much on that. Coming to the processor, there is a huge change in the processor inside. This is a quad-core 64-bit Snapdragon 410 processor, and it has an Adreno 306 GPU with 1 GB of RAM built inside and 8 GB flash memory inside. What this means is the combination of the processor and the GPU, it allows you to play a lot of graphic intensive games without any noticeable lag, without any display hitches, and it's as smooth as butter, right? I've checked out a lot of first person shooters on this phone, and every one of them worked really smooth. You get a real, you feel like you're holding a flagship phone. And I guess in many ways, the Redmi 1S, which was a huge hit with the Indian population, being the successor to that, this phone has a huge set of shoes to step into. From what I'm seeing, I think it will have absolutely no problem. The battery is good. It's 2200 mAh battery. It lasted me a day and a half on normal usage. By normal usage, I mean decent 3G data with a mixture of Wi-Fi thrown in. And it lasted pretty well. It is compliant with fast charge standards, so you don't have to waste too much time trying to get it charged. In the first 1 hour, it charges a considerable percentage of the required battery. So if you're going out somewhere and you need to quickly get it up, you can do that. This comes with OTG support. Remember, OTG support in the entry level segment is also good, because then you are freeing the end user from the problem of having to upgrade internal storage, plug in an on-the-go USB storage device, and do whatever he or she wants. Along with that, the internal storage, it can be expanded up to 32 GB. I have only one problem with this phone. That problem is the fact that it has only 8 GB memory built in. Right? I was expecting that Xiaomi would give me 16. I'm hoping that they come out with a variant which has 16. The phone overall looks very good, feels almost perfect. The cover is great, but then the big surprise is here. the camera has gone through solid change between the Redmi 1S and the Redmi 2. What has happened to the camera? It's a 8 megapixel wide angle camera which comes with full HDR and manual exposure control. That means with that phone you can make photographs that look decently professional, right? By decently professional I mean you can touch to focus, low light photography is good. All that I'll be sharing in the blog a few days later. But then I'm telling you, the photos were brilliant, and the shutter delay was negligible, very negligible. Although not zero like it is in the Mi 4 or close to zero like it is in the Redmi Note 4G, it is negligible, and the photos come out good. The display is brilliant. It is an IPS display, so about 130-degree viewing angle from different sides, you get to see full clarity of what you have on the screen. It comes with MIUI 6. It has a good battery. It is thinner. It's good. The price is the surprise. It's priced at 6999. Okay, so many people ask me, boss, I can get the Lenovo cheaper than this. I can go get a Moto E, right? Now I would advise you to go get this phone. Why? Because this phone is a dual SIM 4G standby phone. I have not seen any other phone in this segment have that feature. Meaning, I can chuck in 2 SIM cards into the phone and both can be 4G capable, and I can switch between SIM cards without opening the phone up, just by changing the settings on the phone. Now that is something I have never seen in this segment, and this is why I think this is going to redefine the entry segment. Imagine every first time user of Android, every first time user of an Android phone getting his hands on a dual standby 4G phone and using it, right? Currently 4G and 3G cost the same, so it is going to redefine the way they look at the internet, consume data and use apps, and I think that's going to be a big game changer, because the next billion mobile users are coming from India, and this is going to be a very prominent device in that landscape, right? So if you ask me what is my rating of this phone, I'll say 4.7 out of 5 overall, including price, packing, screen, camera, battery, everything. Why did I cut 0.3? Because I was expecting 16 GB and I got only 8 GB. That is why. And internal also I was expecting 2 GB RAM and I got only 1 GB. But then I am known for expecting too much, right? I'll tell you, the entry segment, this is the phone to get, and this is the phone to beat. I don't think it is going to be easy for anybody to beat this kind of spec. Also, another unique feature is that I had to talk to you about this earlier, but then the screen is laminated, meaning when you try to press it too hard, right, there's no cheap squeaky noise that it makes. It also means that this thing is the glass and the display pixels are very close to each other. That gives a premium feel, and it has dragon tail glass. That means you can scratch it with a keychain or with a scissor, and you just do that and the scratch goes away. So it's very good for all those road warriors who need to carry mobiles into physically demanding environments, and they are not looking for mind-blowing flagship kind of specs, but a phone that works, surf the net. This is the phone for you. 6999, go get it. My rating 4.7 out of 5. Thanks.